Yo, what is going on, Steeler Nation? We are back with another episode of the Steel Factory podcast. I am joined by my co-host as per usual.
What's going on?
What's up?
And we had quite the night last night. Steelers played their first preseason game, and honestly, I was really impressed. I don't know if you guys have any opening remarks about the game.
No, it's just it's dope to finally get some real football instead of getting blue balled with these camp reels.
Little camp clips of
these
George
camp
Pickens,
clips.
just pure George Pickens little clips.
I finally got George Pickens the real deal last night, and it was everything we thought it would be and more.
And we told you so. This is the location of the George the George Pickens fan club.
Yeah, we staked our flag. We claimed him.
We claimed it first. I mean, what could I say? How was everything for you guys this week? Anything from camp that really came up to you guys before we get into this game?
From camp?
Or should we just go straight into the game?
And then Pickens just go at Sutton or something? I think that was it.
Oh, when Sutton hit the gritty on Sutton.
Yeah.
Pickens hit the gritty on Sutton, like on the one-on-ones or whatever. He did it like twice to him. Fucking Sutton. I don't know. I love seeing all the memes from George Pickens. Y'all saw the NFL Twitter make the picture of him watching him get drafted, and they photoshopped his toe tap and made that the NFL Twitter header. Yeah, it was hilarious. Anyways, I got my Kenny jersey. Guys, so like I've told you guys this story, but I'll tell this for the podcast. So I ordered my Kenny jersey last week. It came in the mail Thursday before the game on Saturday, and the number is like crooked, right? And it's not terribly noticeable, but it is noticeable. And I was like, man, what the fuck? I wanted my jersey to wear, while I watched the game on Saturday, because I'm that type of fan that will wear a jersey for a fucking preseason game. Anyways, so I call NFL Shop and I'm like, hey man, my jersey's fucked up. Ship me a new one. I don't want a refund. Just give me one and I'll return this one. Well, I have a jersey on the way as of this morning, and I haven't gotten a return label shipped to me yet. Do you guys think that I've just scored on 2 Kenny Pickett jerseys?
You know what I think happened? I think someone ordered a Kenny Pickett jersey.
This one doesn't have a tag, by the way. It came with no tag. I was trying to feel for it in the car.
Here's the scheme. Someone ordered a real Kenny Pickett jersey, and they sent back a fake China Kenny Pickett jersey and got the money back. So they came out like $100 ahead. And now here you are with the returned Kenny Pickett jersey.
That's a knockoff?
From DHgate. Yeah, that's exactly. You don't have any labels or nothing, dude.
I had no tag, huh? I did. I mean, like the typical size tag is on here, but not like a tag with like the price and all that or anything. I compared it to one of my other jerseys though that I got straight from Heinz Field last year. And it looks pretty similar, but I don't know, man. Maybe this is fake, but who knows? I'll have fucking 2 Kenny jerseys, and
that's where you fucked up. There's no Heinz Field, bud.
At the time it was Heinz Field last year.
Some holes in your story.
But all I'm gonna say is I put this jersey on as soon as Kenny entered the game, and look what he did last night. We'll get into it.
Are you gonna stop wearing it? Because it seems lucky now. So.
I just put it on for the podcast, but yeah, this one might be retired until like we're in a Super Bowl or some shit, and I actually need to use its energy. Anyways, let's get into the game, guys. So, anyone want to open up with Mitch Trubisky's outing and the starters that played with him?
I mean, he didn't play much, but he looked good. He looked clean. Nothing like. I think the only like amazing play we saw yesterday was from Mason with that pass to Pickens, but. Aside from that, it just seemed like our offense was finally an actual offense. Like we were removing the ball, which hadn't been happening the last couple of years.
Oh, we were to see like some down the field passes, right?
It looked like a real system.
Especially from Mitch and Mason. You did see a little bit of the Canada offense, but to push the reverse sweeps, the jet sweeps, the typical Canada stuff, but to see like the ball moving down the middle of the field, that was interesting. And the O-line actually looked pretty good behind
held up
in front of Mitch that beginning of the year. And it has me excited because when the O-line playing good, it actually opened up our running backs, and we were without Najee yesterday, and Benny Snell didn't play. Oh yeah, I'm a list off the people that didn't play. We didn't have Deontay, nor Chase, no Freiermuth, no Najee, no Zach Gentry, and no Dotson on offense, I believe. That's everyone like the main starters that didn't play. So with Dotson out, Kendrick Green played in the starting position, and I did notice he's kind of struggled a bit. But yeah, like we don't need to talk about O-line. They played great. They made the running backs look pretty decent. The backup running backs. I don't know. What do you guys want to pick one up right here and talk about them?
I'll talk about McFarland. He looked really good. He was getting into space. He was making the right cuts at the line. I think he did everything he needed to do with playing with the first team, and I'm pretty excited for him to be a change of pace for Najee this year.
Oh, he's definitely a good change of pace. Najee's a good all-around back. He does it all, but McFarland looks like if he could hit the hole at good speed, he's gonna get some yards, and he averaged like 8 yards a carry. I think he broke one for a good almost 30 yards, I believe. I don't have the exact number noted. But it didn't just stop there. We had guys like Jalen Warren come in and Master Teague that each had like above 5 yards a carry. And that was like later on in the game with the second and third line.
Apparently, Warren is Willie Parker's cousin.
If I heard that right from the broadcast, yes. And it's funny because both of them went undrafted, Willie Parker and Jalen Warren. And it's a good story, man. I mean, the Steelers love having their family ties, their roots like that. And if he makes this team, well, I'll be alright about it. And he's only 5'8". That's just fucking crazy. He's like 5'8", 210 or some shit. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to talk about the running backs last week, and I was kind of waiting for this game, but I was really impressed by the three: Master Teague, McFarland, and Warren. It's gonna be interesting to see what kind of guys we kind of put behind Najee, and it kind of puts Benny Snell in the hot seat. Benny Snell really hasn't done much. This is gonna be his third year?
Yeah, third year.
Nothing much to make him be a valuable like asset to the team outside of special teams. So yeah, I'm really interested to see how that plays out. That's a really good battle. I really want to see up close these next 2 games after. Now that I have a good like idea of what the other 3 guys look like. But let's get into the main event here. George Pickens stole the fucking show in the first half. Rudy, you want to talk about that one?
I mean, there's not much to say, dude. Like he was just absolutely killing it. Like that toe tap touchdown he had from Mason was beautiful. Like that's a highlight play like in peak NFL season, and we got it right now.
Yeah. He's as advertised just from the training camp highlights, the training camp tweets, and all that.
Also, that funny ass shove he had at the line. He just pancaked that dude.
He fucking just he pancakes the corner, and then he waves at him like this. Like, bruh, you're a fucking menace to do that shit.
We gotta pull up the George Pickens as a dog.
Says bye, bro.
He was on one.
And then I think it's just crazy because in the press conference after, they asked Tomlin, it's like, did George do anything to surprise you? And he's like, nope. Like, you're like a different type of guy when Tomlin literally has to not give you gas in order to like keep your ego in check. You know what I mean? Because Tomlin's a player's coach. He's going to compliment his players all the time. But with George Pickens, he's just like, nah, he's doing what he's supposed to do. And I'm just excited to see. Honestly, right now, like he's easily number 2 on the depth chart behind Deontay, because Chase hasn't played anything in camp. And dude, like this guy actually like lit it up in the first half. I think he played most of the second quarter actually too.
We have a really interesting trio of receivers, and like we haven't even seen Miles Austin play, who's apparently also really
Calvin
good.
Austin, yeah.
Or yeah,
he's actually had a really good camp as well. He didn't play in the game. He tweaked his foot or something on the Friday before the game. Which was sad to see because I really wanted to see all our rookies. All our rookies did really well. We'll get into Kenny, of course, later. But yeah, we talk about that Pickens touchdown. I gotta give a shout out to Mason on that throw. That was a dot.
Best throw of the game.
I know no one's rooting for Mason. But the guy threw it on the money to Pickens right there.
Yeah.
And it was good to see like the 3 themes I'm mainly looking for in the quarterbacks in these preseason games is how they control the offense, how they run it basically, and poise, of course, and then accuracy and decision making. And like the first play Mason came out, he's getting booed, right? And then he gets strip sacked on that first play. He recovers the ball, and then 2 plays later throws that dot to to George Pickens. So I mean, Mason, good job, good job. He did honestly have like the worst play out of all three quarterbacks, though. Technically, if you're just looking at passer rating and just from like the naked eye, Mason had a couple picks or would be picks that were dropped. Honestly, and that goes towards decision making and accuracy. Then he did have the strip that I guess you could kind of put that on the line, but then even then at that point he was playing with the starters. The starting O-line was in for Mason's first drive that when he threw the pass to Pickens. But overall, I gotta give Mitch an A and Mason a B, Mason a solid B minus even. But then that'll take us to the second half. And at halftime, Tomlin had made the announcement that Kenny was going to come out. And let me tell you, Acrisure erupted when I don't know if you guys are watching still, but you could hear it through the TV, just like the Kenny chants when he came in. And I was excited. I put my jersey on, and that's why I think this is kind of a good luck. Because Kenny came out and completed like 10 straight passes. Granted, there were a few checkdowns in there. That's one thing though about Kenny. I wanted to see him kind of work the middle of the field. There were kind of like some knocks on him that he's not a pocket passer, but he did make some good passes within the pocket to the outside numbers, which looked good. But overall, Kenny had like a 132.6 passer rating. I mean, what else do you want him to do? He threw the game-winning touchdown, and he threw 2 touchdowns on the day. But yeah, that's enough quarterback talk. Let's talk about the receivers. One guy that really impressed us was Steven Sims. Who wants to talk about him?
I mean, Steven Sims has had some really nice returns. I feel like we haven't had anyone good as a returner for a while, dude. It was crazy to see. It was crazy to see someone actually make some yardage up with those. And I'm excited to see more from him. I'm excited to see how that gets better.
He had that return to set up the George Pickens throw, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That touchdown. Then I don't know, this kind of play goes unnoticed, but he had I would have been a what's it called? Pinned like within the 10-yard line, I want to say. But he did like the fake fair catch where he kind of like went to like complete other side where the ball was, and that way the ball like bounced behind him into the goal line. That way it was a touchback instead of getting us pinned back, which is a good smart play. You don't that's not something you see every day, and that's good to see. It was kind of huge. And then also, I think on Kenny's first drive, there was a jet sweep to Steven Sims, and he basically set them up in the red zone. But you get to see how long was that? Yeah, that was the one rush he had for 38 yards, so pretty solid on the day.
Oh crap!
It's good to see. I'm pretty sure this is a guy that might not make the roster, could make the roster, and those are just plays that will really help your case. And plays like that are what Canada's looking for, players like that. And who knows, he looked like a better version of Ray McLeod last year. And Ray got a lot of burn last year.
Our receiving room is looking really stacked.
It's looking deep. It's looking pretty deep. And then if you want to talk about like Gunnar Olszewski, I know he's like, this guy's a return specialist. That's how he's made his name, being an all-pro kick returner, punt returner. So I would assume he's gonna be the guy for punts, but Steven Sims, he looked good. But yeah, you have the guys like Gunnar Olszewski, you got like Miles Boykin, free agents, and then you got like the camp pickups like Tyler Vaughns and Steven Sims. It's gonna be interesting. The depth for running backs and receivers look really good. I don't know if it's just because the opponents, because the Seahawks look pretty terrible. It was overall a dominating game outside of how terrible our second half defense looked, and the D-line just did not look that good. But if we have one like defensive player to talk about, it's gonna be Devin Bush, guys. Where are you with him at this point?
Disappointing.
I've sold all my stock.
I wanna return
sold my stock. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm done with him.
I'm returning my fake China Devin Bush jersey.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like, what was it? He played. It was his middle of his second year where he tore the ACL, right?
Early on in the year, yeah.
First year he looked as advertised out of the draft. He looked good as a rookie. Got a lot of turnovers. And then, like, I remember, like, we would just be like, oh, this guy just has a nose for the ball. He's always in the right place for a turnover. Was pretty good the second year, just as he was in the rookie year. But he didn't play a full year, so you can't really give him form an opinion. And then the third year was terrible. First year off the ACL, and then like there's just plays where this dude didn't make an effort, didn't read the run. Like this guy played 15 snaps and didn't have one tackle. Like he's opening the door. He's basically giving Robert Spillane the starting inside linebacker job alongside Miles Jack.
It also looks like he has an attitude problem. Like he thinks
he's fine, right? I mean,
yeah. And
then when you got a coach like Brian Flores working with the linebackers, you'd think he'd be like ready. But I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting to see who's starting in that spot come week 1. I don't think it'll be Devin Bush. Spillane has looked good in the run over the past couple years, and then but the pass, Spillane just getting burned. Hopefully Miles Jack get help with that. Maybe Bush could just be only in for pass plays, but I don't know, man. Maybe we could get something out of Mark Robinson sometime this year. Looked really good. He had the strip sack on Drew Lock to set up the Kenny game winner. But yeah, man, I don't know. And then that'll take us to, I mean, I guess we can't really make a prediction, but the roster is supposed to cut from 90 to 85 this week on Tuesday, actually. I don't know. Maybe there'll probably be just guys that we haven't really have heard from, especially at this point, because they're gonna get cut. I mean, like they haven't done anything special to really get their name out there.
Yeah.
But anything else in the game, guys, that you want to talk about? Did we hit the points? Or we could just talk about George Pickens some more.
He's my goat. I think overall the quarterbacks were all. It was I want to hear.
I gave my opinion. I want to see what you guys have to say on all of them.
It was good to see that they were all comfortable, at least.
For sure, yeah.
Like no one was scared at all.
Yeah, I think like no one looked terrible, right?
Right.
Which is rare for going 3 deep on quarterbacks. And I thought Trubisky looked really good. I thought he looked really clean, and I feel comfortable with him being our starter week 1. I feel like that's exactly what's going to happen. As far as the rest of the depth chart goes, I don't know that are we even looking to trade Rudolph? I haven't heard
I've heard both, dude. I've heard both, and I mean Zach Wilson went down. I don't know the severity of his injury, but right away Steelers Twitter was like, "Oh, this Mason's getting shipped like tomorrow," and nothing's happened so far. I don't know. We still have a lot of preseason games to go through. I think that's what the Steelers are waiting for. I mean, Mason didn't look bad, but at the same time too, this is preseason for him, and this guy's going into his 5th year. Preseason should be nothing for him at this point.
Yeah, I think and like Pickett looked great. He looked super.
He looked like he's been there before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that last the game-winning drive. Like that's great. You love to see that. It might have been against like 3rd string defenders or whatever, but still
he's playing with third string O-line.
Exactly.
No mistakes, really.
It was really nice to see a quarterback that was actually pretty mobile.
This guy went 13 for 15.
Yeah, like he was really accurate. And obviously, he didn't have like the deep balls. Like Mason probably had the best ball of the day, right? But I'm really excited to see Pickett. I'm really excited to see him, maybe with like a longer leash. Like if he gets deeper in the playbook and
that's one thing too. The playbook is based off a lot of the gameplay I've seen of from Pitt. A lot of it looked like stuff he ran at Pitt. I'm not gonna lie, and I don't know if it's because they're not opening up the playbook as much, or if that's really just what the Canada offense is. Because a lot of it did look like flashes of what Ben did last year, a quick check down. But he had the mix of him rolling out, and I really liked how Kenny threw on the move. I mean, it's hard to be accurate, and that's what he did. I mean, he only missed 2 passes, and both those passes were honestly catchable. But yeah, I mean, for a rookie in the second half, playing 3rd and 4th stringers, camp guys, practice squad guys, Kenny did what he's supposed to do. He took him out of the offense, and he played what was in front of him, and he played with whoever was put next to him, and he did well. He made the guys look good. he's making me think that, like a guy like, what's his name, Tyler Vaughns has a good shot at making the team because Kenny set him up good and he threw him a good ball. But yeah, I mean, this is just one thing too. Like Mason, his control of the offense look entirely different than Kenny and Mitch, and not in a negative sense. More so that it's not really what Canada wants. You know what I mean? Like Canada wants the quick rollout and he wants the jet sweeps, and Mason, his play is not really tailored towards that, and that's what people are saying as of right now. That although Mason doesn't look terrible, the direction Canada wants to go is not with Rudolph's skill set. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that.
He's just not as good of an athlete as them, so it's going to be harder for him to do that.
Even though Mason probably has the best deep ball, probably has the most arm out of the three, it's just not what Canada wants to do. And I know we're not all sold on Canada and his like schemes, but we'll see, guys.
Yeah, I think everyone is kind of these next couple of seasons for the Steelers are definitely we'll see, and you like kind of hate to see it with the defense that we have.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time too, it's just like Trubisky came in that first half or that first quarter, and he led like Gunnar Olszewski and George Pickens and or Connor Hayward.
Yeah.
Like these guys are second stringers, right?
Yeah.
He didn't have Najee there. He didn't have Freiermuth. He didn't have Deontay. And the offense looked good. Yeah, he had the starting O-line too, but the offense looked good. And I was like, I will say that I was impressed with Trubisky. Not because I had low expectations, but because I was like, okay, like I was kind of worried with the weapons he had around him, how he would do, especially with how much the first team defense has been tearing him up in camp, from I've been heard. I'm excited. I want to see what he's going to do with the first team offense, and I do hope he gets a lot more reps with them. In the next preseason game against the Jaguars, I kind of want to get into that. How you think this offensive snaps for the quarterbacks will go in the next? Like, do you want to give Kenny a shot with the twos?
I'd love to give Kenny a shot with the twos. I want to see what he does with just more talent around him. Obviously, like I think there's nothing but good things to say about yesterday's game, considering how the offense looked really good, and at the same time we were missing so much talent, right? Like so many of the players you listed as missing, like Freiermuth, Najee, Deontay, Claypool, like those are all guys that we're really excited about going into the season with, and we didn't see them at all yesterday. And
the
offense
floor and ceiling is definitely a lot higher for the offense.
Yeah,
and I know Mitch is a good stepping stone right now, but imagine like Kenny a year. I mean, I don't want to say year, maybe midway through the year, and he's ready to get the keys. And Mitch is a good temporary driver. I feel like I'm comfortable Mitch starting week 1 after this game. I'll say that. Even the first half of the year. Yeah. Like we all knew that, but we were like, okay, how's that gonna go? Because you had a lot of question marks on Mitch Trubisky not playing for a year and getting basically shipped out of Chicago, right? Like this guy, after his rookie year, he was gone, right? Or his rookie deal.
Yeah, it was
midway through that fifth-year option. Midway through the 4th year, he didn't even have the starting job, right?
I think so. I think he got benched.
Did he finish the year, or he got benched, right?
No, I think he did finish the year. Didn't they lose to the Saints in the playoffs?
Didn't he bring him back after going to the playoffs? I thought it was his second and third season they went to the playoffs.
Oh yeah, so then it was a year after the Saints loss that he.
Oh, we'll see. I was impressed by all three. I mean, the expectations were low for Rudolph, but I was impressed. Kenny, honestly, dude, for a first rounder, get in third stringer, did really good, and I definitely think the league took note. I saw a lot of like, because I was seeing the NFL Twitter, and these guys are giving Malik Willis a lot of attention, and I was like, oh great. If Kenny does not perform, he's literally just gonna get compared to Malik the whole time, and everyone's gonna be fucking clowning us, saying we reached on Kenny. And Kenny outplayed Malik in his first game, so that's good to see. I guess that's like the, what's it called? A bar. Like Kenny has to outperform every game we passed on.
He's the first quarterback, so he has to.
Right?
Yeah. Or else you just look like a chump. Yeah, you just
Yeah,
That's how it is.
obviously we want him to be the best quarterback in this class.
Oh, he needs
Like,
to be.
obviously-
We're fucked. We're gonna look
Like, obviously, every wide receiver, the measuring stick is going to be Pickens, right? Like, oh, you chose so and so before Pickens, you
Hey,
fucked up.
I don't know if this is true, but I saw that the Ravens passed on George Pickens 3 times before he fell to
Hey,
us, bro.
They don't throw the ball over there, so what's the point?
That's true.
Oh yeah,
Gonna be a
but their main comeback is gonna be like, oh, Kenny Pickett has small hands, bro. On that Twitter account we run, I posted the trophy or the picture of Kenny holding up the Lombardi, whatever, that fucking Photoshop, and the amount of Bengals fans that were replying to that, oh my god, they were mad. I'm like, bro, like literally their main comeback still was Kenny has small hands, like Kenny doesn't have a quarter inch less than, or like
Burrow?
Joe Burrow doesn't only have a quarter inch on Kenny in hand size.
Dumb.
Oh my god.
Burrow's on defending him last year, right? Or during the draft, like.
Well, yeah, because like Burrow had the tweet. He was like leading up to the draft a couple years ago. He was like, I was told that my career will not work out because of my hand. Looking into different career opportunities or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited now for this season. I think it was a really good time to be a Steelers fan yesterday. Football's fucking back, and I can't wait for the next game. I mean, I haven't ever been this excited for preseason, and I'm looking forward to what we do during this week. And are we gonna do another episode before, or is this it till after the Jaguars game, the next game?
I think I don't know.
TBA.
I think
TBA.
if we want to, maybe if we do the watch party during game day.
Is this gonna be an announcement? I don't know if you guys are here still. But we're gonna try to do a watch party. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, we'll just have the game on, and we'll just be kicking back, watching the second preseason game. I think this game is usually the quote unquote dress rehearsal, and we do see a lot more starters play for at least a quarter, or at least that's how it's been in the past. The second to last preseason game is where we do see the starters come out. So I do expect to see Deontay, Najee, and Freiermuth dress for this next one and play. Maybe not so much TJ and Cam Hayward.
Nah, they're cool. And Minka, they could hang
I
out.
don't think they play. But I do think for the offense at least you do see them get a lot of burn. Which should be exciting to see. I do hope that with the starters playing, that lets Pickens play with Kenny the second quarter. That's my bold prediction for the next game. That we'll see the Kenny to George Pickens connection.
Do you think maybe for the third game they'll let Pickens start and then play that fourth quarterback in the second half?
I do. Oh, that's another thing. Chris Olodokun didn't play a single rep.
Or do you think they're gonna hide him and put him on the practice squad?
I do think, if it's confirmed that Mitch is the starter, he's not gonna play in the last preseason game, and I do think we'll see maybe Mason get the keys if he's still on the team.
Hopefully the Seahawks trade him. Hopefully he just flew back.
Hey,
with the Seahawks.
that's one thing I saw. Mason looked better than both Seahawks quarterbacks.
Take him back with you.
But yeah, maybe we'll see Chris Olodokun finally in the second half of the fourth or the third preseason game. There's only 3 now. But yeah, I'm excited, man. Next one should be better. We'll see a better opponent too in the Jaguars, right?
More talent.
More talent for sure.
Maybe not better.
I'm thinking Trevor Lawrence plays, right?
He probably should play, yeah.
Has he played yet? I think he did play. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us, guys. We'll get back to y'all on the next game day with the watch party, and then we'll be doing we'll do another recap like this after the next one. That's how it's gonna play out for the remainder of the preseason. And then we'll be right there, guys. Fucking week 1 against the Bengals is right there. But yeah, as always, so
Peace.